Build a highly profitable real estate machine with explosive, exponential growth that works harder for you than you work for it, while living a life by design. Breakthroughs are all around you, but you don't see them until now. Join Jason Williford here at the Ultimate Real Estate Machine as he converses with highly respected and world-renowned experts from inside and outside the real estate industry. You'll discover proven business, marketing, and sales strategies that transform you into the most trusted, dominant, and influential expert in your market, the preeminent agent. Each episode brings you one step closer to the highly profitable and fulfilling real estate business that you've been longing for. Here's your host, Jason Williford.
Hey everyone, got another really special guest on today. He's the owner and the team leader of the Schwendeman Real Estate Group with Exit Realty. He's won Exit Realty's International Group Top Agent Award. He's received the Tri-Realathon Award 4 years in a row. His tagline is indeed correct. No one sells more homes in central Minnesota than Chad Swinderman. Chad is known as one of North America's top real estate agents. He's highly respected within the highest level of producers in the world. He masterminds, he mentors, brainstorms with the best in the world. And without further ado, thank you for joining us, Mr. Chad. How you doing?
Great, Jason. Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Man, it's been a long time since I've seen you in person with all the COVID stuff.
Absolutely. It's been a while, but yeah, we follow each other on social media and we'll get back to normal here before too long.
Hey, what I seen on your Facebook about the crypto mining. What are you doing with that, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've teamed up with some gentlemen. We're doing Bitcoin mining. So we're doing the Antminer S17 Pro and we're mining crypto. So we got 300 miners up and running and it's been a lot of fun. And, you know, hopefully that Bitcoin price keeps going up and not down, but we're confident long-term it's going to be a heck of a good investment.
Where do you think crypto is going to tie into real estate sales? Probably not if, but when it does, how soon do you see that becoming more rampant in our business?
Well, I think the smart contracts and the blockchain is really, the technology is going to hit real estate probably in the next, I would say 3 to 5 years. As far as crypto and Bitcoin, I mean, we built some spec houses. We're willing to take Bitcoin and as currency on the spec houses, and you're seeing more of that. And I think, you know, really Bitcoin is gold 2.0. I mean, it's digital gold and, you know, you've got the political system that's printing money like it's going out of style and it's a great hedge against inflation. I mean, we've seen real estate values go crazy, you know, in Miami, right? I mean, up 56% in 18 months. And that's what we've seen in our market as well. So I'm a big believer in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And I think long-term, it's going to be a really fun ride.
How long ago did you become a believer in the crypto? Was it immediately or did it take a while for it to catch on for you?
Well, true story. So my IT guy at the time called me, or he was in my office. He's like, you need to buy this Bitcoin. I said, well, show me what it is. Well, it's digital money. I'm like, what? I want to see the coin. If I'm going to buy a coin, I want to see the coin. He goes, no, it's digital money. It's a mathematical equation. You should put in some money and that was when Bitcoin was at $13. True story.
Wow.
And, yeah, I did end up buying some at 300 and bought a lot more at, you know, when it was at 1500. But yeah, it's if I had a do-over, that'd be my one do-over, is I should have bought quite a bit at $13. But
wow, hindsights are always 20/20, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's just the operation that you have going there. I mean, it looks very high level, and it's not any of my business what it costs to put something like that up, but I can tell that it was not cheap to have all that done. So I'm excited for you. It's really cool.
Well, anytime you're in Minnesota, I'll give you a tour. It's really impressive, and they're liquid cooled, so the computers are actually in a liquid, so we can get the hash rate up, and one thing with crypto mining is it takes a lot of energy, and a lot of times those machines put off just a ton of heat. And you go in our facility and it's 72 degrees. So it's a different concept, but again, we're getting a higher hash rate and it's more efficient. So it's pretty
That's
neat.
really cool. Yeah, and I know very little about crypto. And we're not going to make the interview about just crypto. We're going to get in some really cool marketing things, because you are one of the best in the world in the real estate space and marketing. So we're going to dive into some of that. But I have some good friend of mine that I've made in Miami. They're actually from the San Francisco area and Palo Alto, the Silicon Valley or whatnot. They're venture capitalists, and they became friends of mine. And they bought the patent to this machine, this windmill machine. So it will end up replacing the traditional windmills that generate energy, and it kills less birds, and it's more effective, more efficient, but somehow they've tied it into the crypto space too. But reason why they come here a good bit is Miami's became kind of like the crypto capital of America type thing.
Yeah, their mayor has been super progressive and taking some of his salary in Bitcoin. And I'll be down in Miami actually the first weekend in April for the big Bitcoin conference. So that's a pretty big event.
Please meet up with me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, hey, how long have you been in the real estate industry?
I started in 1999, so a little while. We've seen the good, the bad, the ugly.
Indeed, you have. How many approximate homes have you sold through the years in approximate volume?
Oh boy, that's a great question. I'd say over 10,000 homes. I guess
Jeez Louise.
I haven't thought about the volume necessarily, but this past year,
a lot is
yeah,
a fair.
Right? But I mean, this past year, and 2021, we did just 896 families, helped them, and
Nice.
267 million. So yeah, it was a good year.
Wonderful job. Heck yeah. Where did that compare to 2020's numbers?
We were flat. So what was interesting is, pretty even. The sales were down a touch, but volume was our average sale increased. Just like everywhere in the country, we're having inventory challenges, and we're in a pretty small market. So Brainerd's 2 hours north of Minneapolis, and we go 60 miles in any direction. Our marketplace is, under 100,000 people that we service. So
you have to go wide.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What does your current real estate machine look like? And that's what the podcast's about. It's about the book, and it takes a deeper dive into the book. It's about building a machine that works harder and harder for you versus you having to work harder and harder for it. What does your current machine look like as far as in regards to what you're set up with? Do you have listing agents? I'm sure buyer agents, staff. ISAs, no ISAs, etc.
Yeah, so we have 4 listing partners, listing agents that only work with sellers. We have 12 buyers agents. We have 5 admin, 3 full-time ISAs in-house, and then we have an acquisition specialist that we do a lot of buy it now. So he'll go out and meet with the sellers, and then a full-time photographer as well.
Love it. Hey, what's your take on? And one of the cast members on my TV show that I'm mentoring and hosting, Agents on Fire, one of them asked me the question 2 days ago. And the question is, with an ISA, because they've tried the thing with trying to outsource the ISA, which has never honestly worked for me. But there's more than one way to skin a cat. I believe in being in-house, and they're actually on staff, and they're actually on payroll as well. What's your take on inside sales agents that are outsourced versus having them in-house?
Well, I've had the same experiences that you've had where we've outsourced it, and we got that Minnesota accent, and so sometimes when they're from a different country, it just doesn't resonate. They pick
Yes.
that up immediately in our marketplace. And the other thing too is just managing the ISAs in-house has been really beneficial for us to have those daily meetings and the powwows and just face to face, belly to belly, and coaching and role playing, all those things. So for us, I've had really good success just keeping it in-house where I've struggled having it outsourced. That's my experience.
Ditto. What made you decide to build a team to begin with?
Well, we just got to the point as the independent agent, I just couldn't keep up. So my best year as an independent agent, I did over 200 deals and about killed me. And I just didn't have the capacity to do any more. And I didn't have a home life. And it was insane.
You did 200 deals by yourself?
225.
In 1 year?
Yep. Yep.
That is smoking.
Yeah,
You did not have a life, did you?
No, it was 7 days a week, and it was wake to faint. I mean, I have a very supportive wife, and at the time, 2 young kids, and that's just what I had to do to get where I wanted to go. But we grew, then it just got so big. I'm like, I can't support it myself. So then you started bringing on the buyer's agents, right? And then, the next thing was a listing partner, and then, obviously admin along the way, and,
Love it. You've done an amazing job, obviously. 200 deals independently. That's maybe the most that I've heard of.
Yeah,
Like in 1 year.
it was an insane year, but yeah.
Wonderful. How many agents